Russia's invasion of Ukraine isn't only jeopardizing the lives of Ukraine's citizens. The war is also on track to cause a surge in severe malnutrition and even starvation around the world. That's the grim assessment of many experts on global food security, who point to how heavily the rest of the world relies on Ukraine and Russia for wheat and a slew of other essential commodities. As that supply is cut off, it will drive up food prices that are already at record levels, and at a time when the economic fallout from the pandemic has already pinched household budgets, most devastatingly in low-income countries. Frankly, I'm extremely worried, says Arif Husain, chief economist. People in Ukraine are in a disastrous situation and they're fighting for their lives. But this disaster is beyond borders. It is also going to hurt people thousands of miles away. To find out just how bad things could get, NPR spoke to Husain, as well as to another prominent analyst, Joseph Glauber, a senior research fellow of the International Food Policy Research Institute, or IFPR. Both Glauber and Husain laid out some alarming scenarios. But they also pointed to concrete actions the world could take to ensure the worst does not come to pass. Here are 6 takeaways. While a military conflict in Ukraine was always going to have some impact on the world's food supply, WFP's Husain says, the timing of this unnecessary, unwanted, unjustified war couldn't have been worse. Take the cost of food. Over the last year, the prices of key commodities have jumped to their highest level since the spikes of 2008 through 2012. Back then, the strain prompted people around the world to erupt in civil unrest, particularly in the hard-hit Middle East and Northern Africa, notes IFPRI's Glauber. He says the causes of this current price crunch are manifold. But much of it has to do with reduced supply. Droughts have cut into recent harvests for wheat in North America and for soybean and corn in South America. Typhoons in Malaysia last year shrunk the crop of palm oil used for cooking, among other purposes. The upshot, says Glauber, is that, it's not like, the war in Ukraine, is coming as we're flush with grain reserves and other things. Prices have been high. This is going to send them higher. The human cost has also been mounting. After decades of seeing the percent of the population that is malnourished in the world decline, over the last 4 or 5 years we've actually seen rising percentages, says Glauber. Husain notes that currently about 276 million people worldwide are in the midst of a hunger crisis, with 44 million of them one step away from famine. If we cannot assist them, they will die. It's that simple. Then there's the impact of the pandemic. I think probably the worst thing is that this is coming during the time of COVID, says Husain. A lot of people in many parts of the world have lost their jobs. They don't have the incomes,